did. Yeah, in the typeset, the 1937 Lincoln Wheat set was another one that was I saved in a 2x2 holder. This next one is a typical intercept shield box, and some of you have them around here already. This was the a copper presidential medal that the North American Mint minted for me when I was fortunate enough to have my presidential medal completed. So I keep it in the intercept shield to protect it because it's copper, unprotected with any kind of coating or anything. And it looks pretty good after 9 years.
Now, I remember them saying that the intercept shield boxes were only good for 10 years. That's when they were first out, I remember, because I happened to hear it by chance.
I don't know.
You don't know?
You know, the best thing to do is to, if it's only 10 years, then purchase new ones every 10 years, I guess.
I did some for a long time.
Here's the other part of the Jefferson nickel set, and that's the one that also had, Littleton is one of the ones that had, they're the people that sell those little pages that have the copper look to them, and those are supposed to protect the coins. I'm pretty happy with the Jefferson nickel set too, because they're keeping pretty good.
They're silvers.
Another way to...
It does say replace every 10 years.
Says every 10 years, well then we got to replace them, yeah.
Or put some Lincoln pennies in there.
Or put some Lincoln cents in with them. Let the Lincoln cents absorb the bad stuff from the air.
Well, Ted, and they will, because I had a pretty nice Lincoln cent collection, really all high grade, and that's that. And I had first in a Dansko regular album, and then I put them in an intercept album. And after a while, they had spots all over them. So
you have to be careful, yeah. After all these years of collecting coins and medals and everything, I looked around one day and I had all these medals sitting around, and they weren't organized. So I got these Lindner, I'll pass this around, just be careful to, it's like a little drawer, and you can stack these, and I've got stacks of 3, and they're almost, I got, what, six different sizes, or 3 different sizes in 6 different drawers, and I've pretty much got all the medals and so forth that I've accumulated over the years. Now, Lindner isn't the only company that has or offers those kinds of solutions. I find this Lighthouse catalog here, and I think it was, I got this someplace, either at one of these meetings or at one of our meetings, but they also have solutions for storing your various metals. The reason I like that was you can get them in different sizes, and you can get them in sizes exactly like for the presidential medals, and you can get smaller ones, so 39 millimeter, 44 millimeter, 65 millimeter, and so forth, and that's pretty cool. To keep track of everything I have, I've created Excel spreadsheets, and I've got for most of the coins and metals that I have my cost, the current value, and the condition of each of the coins. I'm not complete with that, but it's sort of a work in process. Brighton Tokens and Coins does carry the Dansko albums. They can get Lindner albums. They do give a 10% discount to the to members of the RNA. And as I said, the Intercept Shield in Littleton, they don't carry, but I did get them on line from, was it Coin Supply? That's about all I had. Any questions? Yeah.
Oh, what degree of environmental protection do third-party grader slabs like NGC or PCGS get?
I don't believe that they have any, but Gerry, you want to?
Repeat the question.
Do slabs protect your coin? Some of them say they're sonically sealed. I've seen coins that have turned color in there. If you hold it up to your mouth, the holder, you can blow into it. So I think, it's going to help a little bit, but it's just like the U.S. Proof coins. The proof coins that come in the plastic, you think they're sealed, but they're not. Even the plastic envelopes, after a while, you start seeing the coins turning color.
You showed this picture of these nice rainbow-toned Morgans. Any suggestions on how you can do that?
Hey, Mike, how do we tone these coins?
You're talking about conservation. I'm looking for the
You have
emphasis.
to start with a roll fresh Choice BU 81S Morgan dollar that's got just killer luster. Then what you have to do is you can't buy the old Whitman holders and the old Mayrig holders from the 30s because all the sulfur after 30 or 40 or 50 years is dissipated. But there are ways to rainbow tone them, and I'm not going to go into it here because I'm not given the talk. But there are ways to do it that are pretty damn simple if you know what you're doing, and you can get some spectacular coins. And 1 out of 10 will look so good that the services will grade it. But
This piece here is sitting, like I say, on a plastic stand. It's not lacquered at all. You can see it kind of looks like a rainbow color tone on the front. On the back, it looks kind of ugly. But I think just sticking it in the presence of a lot of plasticizer, and then kind of crossing your fingers, it can do it. If it doesn't work, then you just dip it in something. The problem with dipping it is you take some silver atoms, a few atoms are gone, never to return to your coin. So I mean, after you dip it 4 or 5 times, you don't have a MS65 anymore, you have an MS61.
Yeah, I was wondering, I did this and it really worked for me, but I don't know if it's a good thing to do for sure or not. As all as I know, you're not rubbing the coins. But if you get those old, like ancient coins and they're all corroded and messed up, you know how they get stuck together and stuff, and then you take them apart. If you put them in olive oil and soak them for about 5 days and then take them out and dab them with a cotton cloth, get that stuff off and do it over and over again, those things come out clean enough so you can at least read what it says on them. And I had a 1938 S over S Buffalo nickel. The front was beautiful, but the back must have been sitting on something that the lady had it in. And it was all green and yucky, and I did that with that, and it took that green off it. And it didn't seem to affect the luster of the coin, it took the green off it, and the luster was still there. So whatever that green corrosion was, it didn't actually eat into the coin, because it wasn't pitted or anything.
Any particular brand of olive oil?
It's just got to be extra virgin. Make sure you
Chip?
don't get Chinese stuff.
The olive oil, the better.
Cheaper the better.
Extra virgin, they have taken the acids out to help the taste, and the slight acid in there is what helps clean it. So the cheaper the olive oil, the better for the cleaning.
Yeah, but some of that cheap stuff isn't olive oil. They say it is, but it's got other stuff mixed in.
That's the stuff with the mott.
Humidity, it's unbelievable.
Well, you gotta read the label, it doesn't say it on the label.
Steve,
I bought some coins that 30 or 40 years ago, the guy preserved in motor oil.
Whoa.
He said it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Oh, I've heard those too.
And I had a terrible time cleaning the motor oil off. I tried all kinds of solvents, and in the end, I did it by hand, one by one, rubbing them with a paper towel. But they were beautifully toned, kind of a dark, iridescent toning, very attractive and unusual.
I have a medal sitting up here that looked kind of ugly. And when I first got it, it really looked ugly, and I sent it over to Ricky Greco over in Connecticut, who put a finish on a number of our medals, our club medals. And I said, hey, can you finish this? And he stuck it someplace, and he stuck it, and like a year later, I said, hey, Ricky, it's been a year. So I think he stuck it into a wire brush, you know. And said, here, you know, no charge.
Nice.
So I said, you know, I mean, it really looks ugly. So I sent it to Alan Stockton, who you see advertising in the back of the numismatist. Alan will fix holes in coins, he'll re-plug them or re-engrave them or do whatever. Make them look brand new. He is unbelievable. And I said, I don't want this to look brand new, I want it to look old. I wanted to kind of cover up all these scratch marks that Ricky Greco put in there. And this is what he came up with. So when you come up, take a look. It's not a coin that toned by itself, it's a coin that's artificially toned. And it came out looking like that.
There's a name for wire brushing coins.
Yeah.
Whizzing, yes. Thank you.
Let's go two more
Okay.
questions.
You mentioned different albums that you're, preserving your coins in, but what are the things when we're looking at things to put our coins in, should we avoid what substances, because usually they tell the ingredients or what the plastic cover or whatever it is that's in there. What substances do we avoid?
PVC.
PVC for sure. 2x2s, like I said, I had a number of different coins for 50 years in 2x2s that had the little plastic inside, but that's an inert material, fortunately for me and for everybody else. And that preserved those coins very, very nicely, the 2x2s.
And what is the substance to look for then?
You don't want to have PVC, and you want to have
Yeah, mylar.
Yeah, you gotta kind of know it too.
Mylar.
No, it's hard to tell like that.
I have a few different kinds up here. Here's some of the old ones, and you'll see they're nice and soft and they're flexible and they don't crack, but they mess up your coin. And then there's oh yeah, here's a mylar one that I put Andrew Carnegie in. It's a little stiffer, and if you bend it too often, it'll break. But it's going to keep the coin looking good. So there's trade-offs.
If you talk with Randy I should say, at Brighton Tokens, he would help you out with that, I'm sure. They're not going to sell PVC at that place, that coin shop, for instance.
One more question.
Well, I was just going to add on to that and say, if you go to Lindner or Lighthouse, they're pretty reputable, and they explain, how good the products are that they sell. I use Lighthouse for just about everything because they have a system where you can put in one book different diameter coins, and it's really safe.
Apparently, Intercept Shield went out of business, or was bought out by Lighthouse. So if you're looking for Intercept Shield material, go to Lighthouse.
Yeah, it's called Lighthouse. So.
Yeah, Lighthouse. I had a penny, and this will be our last thing. I had a penny up here. I just liked it. It was nice and red, the color, and I didn't want it to start changing to brown. So I did put it in an Intercept Shield holder, 2x2. And the color has stayed the same for probably 5 or 6 years now, which is odd. The other ones, and I'll say this and then I'll sit down. Some of these copies of a 1794 large cent, nice and bright, nice and shiny. There's the 1793 large cent, which looks kind of ugly and mottled looking. I buried this one in the ground for three months in preparation for my talk on coin care. I dug it up, so I just wanted you to see what can happen in the leaves and sulfur and worms and whatever else. If I left it there for the whole year, the coin would be bad.
Okay, let's get on with the election.